Spinning is spinning is spinning.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Zeta Lisa. Welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. How is everybody doing today? We have a special guest, Pillow Talk with the Tea podcast. Show some love to our girl Q.
Yes.
What's up, love?
Yes. I'm with these amazing queens. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your platform for anybody who follows Mama's Cocktail Hour and doesn't know about your platform. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your platform.
Okay. So basically, anyone that follows beautiful sisters here, my name is Kwamia. I go by Q, Kwa, or Queen. I am the owner, creator, and producer of Pillow Talk with the Tea podcast. I created that platform in regards to give people an opportunity to be able to actually come to speak, share their feelings, their mind, their heart with no judgment, to pour out, to be able to no longer sweep under the stuff under the rug. Let's dish it out. Let's put it on top of the table. Let's at the kitchen table like we used to, and let's have this old-fashioned family discussion.
God, you're talking to my heart. Yes. That is my flavor.
That's it. You got Jasmine.
Oh,
I had to get up and I had to move forward a little bit because I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna get in this. I'm ready.
So Q, what made you embark on your journey?
I would say basically, one, I didn't even want to do this for one. I was always told from people in my village, in my circle, hey, you need to do a podcast. You need to create a platform where you speaking to people because they normally come to me for advice. What they should do, what just my opinion on whatever. So I always had my sisters, my cousins, my brothers, they always saying like, we have you in our circle. People out there that don't have a you in their life, they need a you in their life. So how about you go out there and you create something that people could be able to say, okay, damn, I don't know her, but she make me feel like home. I don't know her, but she's giving me the opportunity that she's saying something that's resonating, speaking to me. So I kept hearing this years after years after years, and I'm like, oh my God, whatever, y'all leave me alone. But after that, basically, I would say, Bottom just keep pushing me. I won't say pushing me, but just keep speaking to my spirit. I would say that it finally resonated in my spirit for me to do it. To the fact is, I was anointed, but if you ladies know, anytime when God puts something in you, it's going to stay there until you end up, activating on the plane. So
like a little voice just nipping at you all the time.
And it kept being right here. And I'm like, why is this thing just keep sitting right here in me? So I'm like, is it because they keep asking and saying it to me, or is it really something that I need to do? So then for some reason at the beginning, 2 years ago, pandemic hit. I said, you know what? This is the time, because for some reason this feeling is getting stronger and stronger. And I said, okay, it's time for me to create that forum and that platform for I could be able to share myself with other people.
That is amazing. That is amazing, Q. And I want to say that I commend you on following your purpose. And that's what tonight is all about, actually. It's about manifesting your wants into reality. So I think it's dope that you started with that, because that was something that we wanted to talk about today. We want to talk about how is it that you take that feeling, right? That feeling that you said was still so pressing on your soul, on your spirit. And how do you make that reality?
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I think it's dope that you said at first you wasn't welcoming of it. And why do you think that you wasn't?
I would say because the fact is I looked at it as a big responsibility, and that's a heavy load. Because now, like, even though as being a podcaster, we're speaking our experiences, we're speaking our opinions, we're speaking our feelings, our emotions, and I also feel like we only speaking what it is that we've been through, or either someone we know close to us that been through it. So it's like me opening my world. I'm like, am I ready to really open myself and be that candid, that raw, that unguarded with the world? Am I really ready? So I knew I was ready to be for people around me that knew me, but was I ready to be that for people who didn't know me? Because then I'm thinking, okay, here's the judgment. But then about to turn 40 years old, I'm like, at this point, I remember my grandmother telling me, when as you get older stage in your life, you start to not give a fuck about what nobody say, because long as you know who you are, and long as you've been through your trials, your tribulations, the hurdles, and you got past it, and you end up now, and whatever you went through is what brought you today, is strongest for you to be today. What do you care about what anybody say? Because your story, your survivor stories, your experience could save somebody. It could help somebody. So I definitely had to do that, because I had a lot. Not only just a lot of things that going on in my life, but even people around me.
Oh my gosh, you speaking my language. Let me ask you a question. Because I found it very interesting when you said that you were already used to being that for the people around you, right? That is something that I definitely can relate to you with, because I know what it is to feel anointed. I know what it is to feel like you have this gift. You don't know what it is, right? But you know it's there, and to you it's just so second nature. So when someone is going through something, it's easy for you to pick up on their feelings. It's easy for you to speak words of encouragement, or even through your own experience. Like, speaking my experiences comes naturally to me, not because I want to exploit them, but because I feel like somehow it can teach, or it can help someone going through a similar experience. But I also struggled as well with sharing that with the world. These ladies encourage me all the time, because they say it's going to be helpful, but it's scary to open up. Like you said, judgment. There's so many ways that we can use our gift, right? But it's so scary, because the more we use it in a broader way, the more you open yourself up to judgment, right? So what I know you said your grandma gave you that great advice. But what would you say to someone who finds themselves maybe in the beginning stages of how we were, who feels that they have this gift?
You know what pushed me out there even more is the fact is that I'm going to tell my story before anybody could tell my story.
My God. Because then you own your story.
That's right.
Own my story. So, and then out of that, by me telling my story, ain't nobody could edit it. Ain't nobody could modify it. Ain't nobody could go out and even ad-lib it or tell my story. Or no one could use it against me, because guess what? I already put it out there on the track.
There you go.
That's right. You get your power. Yep, that's right.
You told the story on your own terms.
Exactly. So the fact is that no one will say, oh, yeah, he did this. Or, oh, this is what to her. But guess what? The world knows, because I own it. I trust it. I'm standing and sitting in my power of it, because it made me who I am sitting in front of you today.
What was one of the things that you felt like that you were transparent on social media that you like a lot of people wouldn't be transparent about?
That's funny, because I just ended up was on one of the lives with Off the Top Media, because for some reason we've been doing this grown and sexy thing after 11:30 after dark. So I'm very transparent that right now that I'm in a sexual relationship with someone, and I don't have no attachment.
Wow.
And I'm in a relationship. So normally when women find themselves or either want to be in a situation like that, we know men do it all the time.
Right.
And in the society of what we live in and how they address it, oh, it's normal for the men. But see, women are scared to come out there and say that due to the fact they are scared to get called the hoe, the slut. Oh, she's this, she's that, the scarlet S on her chest. But listen, I've been married, I've been divorced, I've been engaged. I have a 20-year-old son that's in college. I have an amazing life. I love who I am. I'm a domestic survivor. things in my life where I felt like I've been there for my family, my siblings, my cousins. I'm the firstborn. I'm the first grandchild. My son is the first great grandchild. So I feel like I did my due diligence in relationships where I gave my time. I gave the society of and people a part of me already. So in regards to that, right now, at about to be 40, I just want to be and sit with me. I want to enjoy me time. I want to be with me. I just want to relax and not have to worry about and be responsible for nobody emotional feelings. It's somebody worrying about where I'm going, where I'm at, who I'm with, where I'm coming home. I've done all that already. Cool. Yeah, and I love to have been married, but we grew apart. I had a beautiful last relationship 5 years ago, but that ended up we agreed to break up due to the fact I relocate and knowing me and who I am, I'm not a long distance woman. So no, and so that ended. So right now I didn't come back to Jersey to end up in a relationship because that's not what my mind was set. And again, I knew this guy since my son was 6. So like not like I told the people on the I call them fam. I call all the people fam. So I told the fam, I say, listen, I literally trust my life and my son's life in this man's hand. You know what I'm saying? So I say I'm doing a lot of people can't do. You may want to do it, but a lot of women see themselves finding themselves in regards of I'm a relationship person. I can't do this, and it's okay because everybody's not me. Because guess what? I'm very unique made.
That's right.
Let me ask you a couple of questions, girl, because this is too juicy for me not to embark on some of these questions. Jasmine's giving me the side eye, like don't ask. But the Zeta in me has to ask, what was it like, that conversation that you had with that man, telling him that this was only going to be a sexual relationship and that you didn't want to take it anywhere else? How did that conversation go?
The conversation was very smooth and easy because me and him both actually agreed together.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. And like I said, we end up basically have a conversation. And people were like, you got a contract? Yes. And every year we revise that contract. Because at the end of the day, we are both humans. And people do have feelings, right? So there's people that would say, how can you gonna fall for him? You gonna do that. But the thing is, I always tell women, when you decide to get into something like this, know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Don't start end up looking at I'm gonna change his mind. We're about to do the house and pickings. I don't want that. So by me and him coming together and we both agreed on wanting the same thing, it was very cordial for us to say, okay, this and this is what it's going to be, and that's it. We respect each other and trust and believe. That man don't come in here disrespecting me. That man respects me very well than the majority of men on the street. And not only that, but at the same time, he don't come in here empty-handed. You could take that how you want it. That's to your imagination.
I have a question. So with that, agreement and that contract, and full well knowing that this is what you guys were going to get into, did you feel a sense of empowerment, a sense of freedom, knowing that you can embark on a relationship like this and there's no strings attached? There's the knowledge already full frontal. This is what it is that we want, and we're going to keep it that way.
Absolutely. Because I feel like this is something I went into that I agreed, steady it being my optional choice being taken from me. Because I feel that there's some women, I'm not gonna say all or many, but there's some women that just want to just have a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
Of course, they not gonna say it because that's that old saying of I don't want to be looked at as this. I don't want to be ashamed. They're thinking about what everybody gonna say. Baby, I'm having the best time of my life. I don't care about what everyone's saying because I'm having. Listen, at the same time, He got his life. I got my. He's a business person. I'm a business person. And the thing is, we both don't have no idle time to think about when she gonna text me, when he gonna call me, when he gonna do. He's a barbershop owner and about to open up another barbershop in a celebrity hair barber. So what the hell do you know? Y'all know about celebrity hair barbers. Y'all know they constantly on the road, right?
Right, absolutely.
And he already had one establishment, about to open up another one. And I have 3 businesses. So we don't have idle time to be thinking about what each other's doing. When we come together, oh yeah, we end up updating each other. Like, hey, this what happened, that what happened. Oh my God, this and that and that. Yeah, we have that talk. We had that content of talk, but at the same time, there's no commitment. And I think the reason why it works so well, because there's no commitment and strings attached. It's not no sense of obligation. Like, I'm not to him to really do the things I do, but guess what? It's a freedom that I can, and with no pressure.
So you guys are not friends? Sorry.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, are you guys sexually exclusive?
Go ahead. Say that again.
Are you guys sexually exclusive? Because even though you
No. There's basically a rare few of people that basically know what we do, and that's only one hand. That's not the whole hand. Those people known for a long time and never opened their mouth. And respect us both enough to not to open up their mouth. And then not only that, but at the same time, not gonna say that throughout this process of me knowing this man, I had relationships, and whenever he got in a relationship and I got in a relationship, we came to each other, say, hey, I'm feeling this person. We're gonna have to stop doing this, and guess what? There's no questions, there's no pondering, there's no who is him, nothing. Only thing he always ever said to me was, he better come correct, and he better know what he's getting. And the same thing I say to him as well. She better come correct, but you also better treat her right.
Girl, this is so empowering.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jazz.
So you guys, it's safe to say you're not friends, because that would be another attachment. It would still be a way to develop feelings. You would still feel, I guess, at least I would think, a sense of obligation if you're friends, right? Because so you're not friends, y'all just partners when it comes to that. And then you guys talk when you're there, or are you like texting?
If you speak to him, he would say, that's my family. That's what he say. That's what he would say. And this is something that I heard one day years ago. He said, he was like, yo, you my family. Like, and one thing about I see with him, when it comes to people that he's loyal to, or he's like really respect, and he has in that corner, he protects them. He holds them down, and he basically like he don't play no games with them. So like,
let me ask you a question, Q. If this man came to you and said that he wanted to take this relationship to the next level, and that he loves your sex life, he loves you, he loves everything about your strong personality, would you reconsider your situation right now for him?
Nope.
Wow.
Is it because you don't share those feelings, or is it because you don't want to mess because of where you at in your life right now?
I would say a little bit of both. I would say because, for one, I don't share those feelings to take it to that next level with him. And then also because where I'm at in my life right now, I'm not saying that I never don't want to get married again. I'm not going to say I don't love the love. I love love. That's why I'm loving him in that sexual love way. So, but other than that, and then also it's like, I seen him in relationships. Me and him wouldn't be good in that way.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So you know your limits, you know your boundaries when it comes to him specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what he's capable of, and you know what he's not capable of. And I think that's important, and I think that's dope, because you know what? I think a lot of times as women and girls, we can all agree or disagree on this, is that we oftentimes try to make a man fit our narrative
Yep.
or
Yeah.
what it is that we want in a situation or relationship. If we want this guy to be our husband, if we want this guy to be whatever, maybe he's out there sexing other girls, we're gonna try to change that man
Oh, we
to
gonna fix
fit
him.
our narrative. And Q, you are the first woman that I have ever met, and kudos to you, that is standing firm in what it is that she wants. And that is empowering in itself. And that's dope.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
He's like,
And
nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nah, I'm good.
She's me if I ever get divorced.
I'm good.
That's the role. That's the road I'll go down because it's not gonna happen again.
I think it's really dope. I think
Yeah.
it's empowering. And I think for a lot of single women out there who are probably starving with sex,
Mhm.
because sex is such an important part of any relationship. Can I ask you a personal question? How often are you meeting? Is it like every day? Is it like once in a blue? Is it like 2 times a week? Like, I need to know what the single girls is out there sexual, I need to know that vibe.
Okay, well, I could only speak for me.
Right.
I can't speak for if there is women or single women that have something close or similar or trying to get what I have close to where I got to. I can only speak to me. And listen, I'm an open book. And it took me a long time to be that way. And not by me being that, I feel like I'm empowered as I speak and as I tell my stories. So I would say with him, it's like when I'm ready for him and I want him, I will text and I will call him. When the same thing with him. Also, I would say I kind of lost track of how many weeks or days it probably be, because I'm gonna tell you, ladies, this is how powerful it is. Because somebody said this to me, a couple of people said this to me. They think that he's my twin flame. If anybody know what twin flames is really about, that's very powerful.
Can you describe it? So for those who don't,
Twin flame is basically twin flames is one spirit that's basically separated and divided into two that go to individual bodies. So me and him shares one spirit, but it's basically divided in one piece is divided in his, and the other piece is divided in me. So we're gonna always have that connection. It could be years, it could be 10 years, 20 years. We're gonna always have that. It's gonna always be here, no matter what. If he's married, if I'm married, we're gonna always feel that. So basically what I say is to the fact, when we do get together, this man sit here and he's very attentive to my needs and pleasing me in that way. He knows what I do, and I knows what he do. He know I'm a single mom. He know I work hard. He know I take care of my business. He knows that I do the damn thing. So what he basically do is, and he even said this from the beginning, I want to ease your mind. I want to treat you and you lay back, relax. Let me take care of this.
Turn off the lights.
why would you want to mess that up?
Not that, but it's so powerful to the fact is that when he do come and when we do share and we connect, he wants to empty my cup. He wants to make sure that the next time I do see him, that my cup is refilled so he could empty it again. He wants to, and he asked me, he asked me, am I draining you? Am I making sure I'm making you come multiple times that when I leave, you are good and satisfied? And the thing is, honestly, he does. Because it be times that it could be a month. I'm good for a month.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, girl, hold on.
Well, that's when you know that you've been pleasured, because you can walk away and be like, I'm good. See you next month.
Exactly.
I think this is so cool. That means this is dope.
It's not just sex. And when I tell, because even if you ladies ever heard my show, listen, when it's an experience. It's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing is, I think one of my viewers was like, you making it hard for anybody else that may come after him. It was you end up getting to a relationship or you decide to open yourself in that way later on. I say, listen, I don't think I'm making it hard. What it is, first of all, it's hard for anybody because my standards, I won't put my standards all the way to the ceiling, but they are high. Because even with my last relationship, and just by the fact that the men that I have in my life that was pouring into me, that told me I was beautiful, that told me that I was confident, that told me I was the shit and that I was the bomb. The man in my life, the last relationship where I ain't had to touch a doorknob, a chair, he held my hand. I walked in the inside. He protected me. So of course. So it's not as you think I'm going to go from Dom Perignon to Colt 45 back. No.
Damn, she's a cool 45.
You don't want no 40s over here, girl. No. It's only high class shit.
Well, you know, it's what's so dope about it that it all goes into the whole woman empowerment thing. So it's basically you saying, this is how I want to do it. This is what I feel comfortable with. This is where I feel most myself. And I'm going to break the norms. I'm not going to go, like you said, the traditional way, hide my sexuality, not explore my sexuality because I'm worried about what everybody else is going to think. So I think it's dope that you're talking about it because a lot of women are even scared still just to talk about sex amongst their friends.
Yeah. Yes. And
so,
background in the family who we are openly weak, and this is the reason why my siblings and my cousins, they was pushing me to create this platform because I come from an open, communicative family. We talk about anything, even about me about to be 40 and my mom is 62. Guess what? My mom's, we still on the phone talking about all the good stuff and all the things. It doesn't stop because if that dialogue was created for you, it's going to continue for the rest of your life. And my thing is, because her mother created that for her, she created it for me. And because she created for me, now I created that dialogue for my son. And that will continue to go on and on and on. So, and that's why I say, so when I see women cringe, when I even say certain things about sex, I'm like, oh my God, we in 2021 and you still cringing? What is going on?
I think, but you know why I think that is cute? I think for a very long time, there has been this notion with women that we don't like to discuss sex because we feel like it's a competitive thing, right? So a lot of times with women, we don't like to share stories because it's the thought of, well, is this girl going to be thinking that I'm whack in bed, or is this girl going to be thinking that I'm not as sexual? And there's this ego involved when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing, I have been so liberated when it came to Mama's Cocktail Hour because we have shared stories about sex and about, the trials and tribulations because, you've been married. When you're married and you're in a relationship, you have to get creative when it comes to sex.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, it just seems repetitious and it can get boring. So as a woman trying to kind of share that story, it can almost be embarrassing. So I can understand why women fray away from the whole sex thing because they don't want to really be vulnerable when it comes to that. They don't want to say that they need help in a platform that they're supposed to be excelling, right?
And that's the thing, that a topic that we had last week is I had a sexologist on my show where the fact is that he teaches women where to be able to verbally speak to their husband, their partners, without hurting his feelings, to let them know like, hey, you're not pleasing me well, or this is this is very unpleasable. Like, I'm not being pleasured like I should be.
Have you ever had that conversation with a guy?
Of course.
Really? And how did you deal with that? So let's say the guy let's just throw an example out there. Let's say the guy is eating the box the wrong way.
I came out directly and told him, stop, hold up. What are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm eating you. I'm like, no, you're not.
What?
I said, like that? He was like, yeah. no, that's very sloppy. See, and this was the younger me. So I ain't give a fuck. Like, I ain't care. So, but now to me, now I'd be like, oh, I'm still gonna stop, because regardless, it's always a little old side of you in the new. That person don't never go nowhere. Just the fact you just elevate yourself, But that B, she right there in the back door. Anytime, all you got to do is open the back door and let her in. So I told them, I was like, "You not that's sloppy. What's going on? Like, that's not eating." And he's like, "Well, this is the way I do it." I said, "Well, let me show you."
Oh,
I end up basically showed him and told him, like, take your time. I'm like, the same way I say, think about your favorite meal. You want to hog your favorite meal down, or you going to be patient and take your time, and you going to enjoy the favorite meal and to enjoy and savor every bite. So just in that type of way, and just let you know that you doing this to please the woman, but you also should feel good that you doing it to the woman to make sure she pleases her. So it's
Right.
Yep.
So I end up teaching him and showing him and letting him know. And whoever out there that's getting it now, thank me. You're welcome.
she let you know she the reason why it's good now.
Yo, I agree with you. Let me tell you something. People get shocked sometimes when they realize how open I am about talking about sex. Like,
Really?
I could talk to I talk to my girlfriends about
us out here. I'm sorry.
Is it I think it's the religious factor.
Well, because
don't go there.
No,
I know it.
So listen, they know I'm Christian, right? So to me, it's like it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift I share with my husband. So basically, like, what we do is what we do, and the point of it is to enjoy it and show each other love through it and grow through it and connect through it, right? So, like Zeta said, you marry, you gotta figure out different ways. You gotta do interesting things, and also too, like, for me, the way I see it, right, my view, because of my beliefs, is like, this is my partner who that sexuality that you're exploring in your way on your own, I'm exploring with him.
Exactly.
I'm doing it with my partner. So it's like, we're going to go talk about things. If I'm curious, I'm going to speak to him about it, because ultimately, if it's something that needs to be done to me, who's going to do it? So I think it brings couples closer when you're able to share that, because if you think about it, it's like your deepest, darkest, like, dirty little secret. So yeah, I think it's a gift. It's a gift. So why not enjoy it? It's a beautiful thing.
And see, and when I say not to go there with religion with me, it's because I was raised in the church. Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Girl, that's all week.
That's a lot of church and a lot of Jesus.
Not only was I raised in the church, I have deacons and pastors and reverends in my family. So who have their own churches. So in regards to that, those are the women out there that's really sexually frustrated and who actually want to do it. But they are so afraid of being, labeled,
judged.
And I'm like, come on. I feel like talking about sex, owning your sexuality, I feel like you are powerful. You are empowering. You are sitting and standing in your power and letting the person know, this is how I like it, this is how I want it, and this is how you're going to do it. And if not, get your clothes and get out the door.
It is a big part as a grown woman in developing yourself.
I can believe that.
I definitely think speaking back into manifesting it, you are manifesting your wants, right? And getting back to the topic, like, I think it's dope that you manifest what it is that you want in your life. Because a lot of times as women, we think that we need to do the traditional way. We need to find somebody we love. We need to get married. We need to, have kids. We need to bear children. And I love the fact that you really owning your truth, that you owning your wants. And a lot of times in life, we don't own what it is that we want because we so we so accustomed to thinking that, like you said, we're going to be judged if we do X, Y, and Z, and if we're not doing it the traditional way. So I really commend you for coming on this platform and talking about how you manifest your sex life, and you make that a reality, right? Because you say, listen, I'm a businesswoman, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a mother, and I'm a child of the Lord, but I still have, like anyone else, and Jazz likes to say I'm Christian, but I still like, I still like to have sex.
Yes, and I'm also a Christian, and I also curse, but God knows my heart.
Christians are real people.
Yes, we are. That don't listen.
We're regular people. We're regular people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
priest cursed all the time.
I always tell people you have to create your own order in your own life. You mold your world of how it fits for you. Don't try to mold it because the TV commercial society, the magazines, or because your next door neighbor or somebody in the pulpit say this how it should be. Yeah, cool. We believe in the Bible, but listen, that's another topic. Some things I'm like, I don't know about. However, you know what I'm saying? But the stuff that I do believe in, I follow in that. I pray every day. I meditate every day. I work out between an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours every day. I sit there and I listen for his word after I pray. And you can't tell me that I don't manifest, because the things that happened to me the past 2 years that has developed because I spoke it in existence. I manifested it. I walked in it. I sat there and I actually dreamed it, and my affirmations every day, it came true. So you just have to create your own life in your own world of existence for yourself. Don't try to create it for other people because you're trying to please them, or you don't want to disappoint them, or because they may judge you. Then you'll be living a very long, boring, whack, unsatisfied life that you're going to end up dying, and then you're like, I didn't really live.
Right.
Ooh, that's my fear.
Ooh.
That's my fear. My fear is to just continue to exist the way I was before I started going on this journey, and just look back and be like, yo, I was just existing. I didn't live. I want to live. I want to laugh. I want to cry. I want to feel and touch and experience and go through all those emotions, because we only have one life. And so I was so afraid before, my own insecurities, my own issues, that I was in this box. And I was watching everybody else live their life, worried that I had to do what they wanted me to do, you know? So my fear was just to exist. We like to say something here at Mamas where we say that we are trying to redefine what a modern day mama is. And that's basically what you just explained. Like, to us, we don't want to live by the norms of before. We know this is not a one size fits all, because everyone is different. So we out there just trying to kind of like, what does a modern day mama mean to us? On our terms? What do we want to do? Yeah, we could be wives, yeah, we moms, but we're also women. And we have to put the woman first, because if the woman is not first, she's not grounded, she's not solid, she's not happy, then she can't pour into the cup of being a wife, being a mother, being a caretaker, being all those other things that she's expected to be. And before, it used to be the opposite. We thought that we had to pour into those and forget about the woman. So I think it's dope the way that you are just out there, just like, this is how I choose to be a woman. This is how I want to grow into that next level of womanness in my definition, on my terms. So correct, like Zeta said, kudos to you.
Thank you.
I think it's dope. I think it's absolutely dope. Where do you see Pillow Talk with the T podcast in future?
Well, in the future, where do I see PTWTT? I see the podcast, I would say, a major platform live. Even though we stream live, but I'm talking about actually being sponsored by a major corporation company. And not only that, but opening up those conversations in everybody home that needs that conversation open and that needs to talk and not be afraid to talk about, because I want to be in everyone's home. I want Pillow Talk to be in everyone's home, actually creating that conversation, that old-fashioned conversation, not being afraid or not worried about being judged, and also knowing and having parents and guardians to go back to know that you are your child's and your family first teacher. So go back teaching it. Yeah, they have teachers, but you the first. So go back and teach us. I also want Pillow Talk to go back and also in the homes to end up checking the man and say, man, take your place. Where you at? Where y'all at? What's going on? What happened to the respect? What happened to the protection? What happened to the standing up for your Black and brown sisters? What's going on? I want it to also just create the dialogue of just having unity. We lost that. Yeah. We need to be unified. We need to love each other. We don't have to be blood to love each other, because we are sisters in Christ.
Amen.
Preach.
We are sisters and brothers in Christ. I wanted to be able to be in people's homes to let them know how important mental health is. To exercise your body, but you have to also take care. You just like you go to the doctor, take care, you get a health checkup. How about let's check in on that mental health? You know, and to check in on each other, to find out what's going on. So I want Pillow Talk to be around the world, and actually not just us going live on Instagram, but going live in radios and networks, and actually we could dig, actually they can engage with me. So
that's amazing, Q. That's amazing. And you talk about mental health, and that kind of hits home with us, because that's something that we here at Mamas is so transparent about. That's one of the things that we started to embark on our journey and really build the building blocks for Mamas, is that we wanted to stop having surface conversations. And we really started to want to have real conversations with real women just like yourself. Yes. So enough with, you know, a lot of, like I said before, a lot of women are, when they come on social media, is just what they want you to see. And here at Mamas, we are really transparent, not with just what we want you to see, but what's really inside.
Exactly.
And Tuesday Talks with Jazz is a good indicator of her speaking about mental health, speaking about anxiety, speaking about depression in real time, and some of the things that she's been going through. And Jazz, I know you can kind of talk on this more, but absolutely, mental health is something that and I know you can relate, in Black and Latino homes, is something that's shamed.
Yes, absolutely. And it's something that's definitely dear to my heart, because 2 Christmas ago, I think it's now about 3 Christmas ago, my sister committed suicide. My sister. And it touches me to the fact of the core of, we see her struggle. We see her going in and out of just, you know, medications and different things, and just trying to find that peace. You know, and it's hard. It was hard. And I know it's hard. It was a fight. If it was a fight for us, for us to be there for, I can just imagine what she was going through, and she was living in her own body, in her own head, in her own spirit, her soul, what she was feeling. We could say one thing, but damn, what was she really feeling? What was she going through? It was challenging for us to be there sometimes, but we was there. But just imagine how challenging it was for herself. So I definitely put that more close to my heart, due to the fact is that I refuse to allow her name, her legacy, her reputation to go in vain, because that was a beautiful sister. She was a beautiful spirit. She was very very creative, music wise, spit lyrics like nobody's business. So I definitely, that's why I go on taking mental health, domestic violence, LGBTQ, because these different things I just named, I lost people in all 3 of these different HIV. Wow. So that's why I say, when I need to, a lot of people say I need to write a book.
I agree, girl. I need to write a book.
I think it's important too when it comes to mental health. again too in our we grew up in Latino homes, and those that's not looked upon as something that you really talk about. You were either told to pray it away, or you were told to ignore it, or you were shamed for it, you know? And I suffer from anxiety and depression, and I battled it my whole life. And so when I'm not ashamed, I'm in a place in my life where I'm no longer ashamed of it. I'm
Yes.
actually proud of all the progress I have made. And so what motivates me to tell my story is I think back to when I was at that point where I felt alone, where I felt confused, where I felt, and I hate that word because I feel it's a derogatory word when it comes to mental health, but crazy, because everyone around me didn't understand me,
Yeah.
they didn't know how to relate to me, and it was
Yeah.
easier to just push me away and dismiss me than be there. And I think about the woman now in her 30s who's still dealing with those issues and doesn't know where to turn. And I just want them to know, like, you're not alone. We
Mhm.
all struggle at some point with mental health based off of things that are going on in our lives. It's just that some of us are chronic sufferers, but that doesn't mean that you're damaged. That doesn't mean that you can't live a fulfilling and successful life. It just means that you just got to work harder at certain things. It just means that you have to figure out different ways to handle things. And so I am very adamant about putting a face,
Yes.
a regular mother face. I'm a professional, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and say, yes, I have these things. It's a part of me, but it doesn't define me.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
it's added to my character because, like you said you can't even imagine what your sister was going through. And I tell people all the time, you know how hard it is to fight a battle that only you see.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up every day, you fight that battle, nobody sees it but you. And
Exactly.
not only do you have to fight that battle yourself, but you also now have to fight with everybody to convince them that you're actually in battle, because a lot of people don't believe you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important that we continue to have these conversations and just normalize the fact that people are going through things, and it doesn't make them weak and it doesn't make them damaged. It makes them human. And we were made imperfect for a reason.
Absolutely.
And we just have to be compassionate and accepting. So kudos to you for pushing mental health. That's definitely something that's dear and near to our hearts here.
Yeah.
Dropping some gems here on Mama's Cocktail Hour. I love everything about this conversation because, like I said, I love that it's not surface. I love that it's real, it's authentic, and it's us mamas coming together, like you said, unity.
Yes.
It is important that we come together because at the end of the day, we, like Jasmine said, we are all women.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What was one of the things that drew you to mamas, Q?
I would say, listen, I end up basically I seen Jazz thing, I seen your thing, like when you were there by yourself. I seen you guys separately, to collectively together. Um, I would say just the fact of not only, I think, are you guys from up north?
We from New York, girl.
We New Yorkers, girl.
Okay, I felt that vibe. Felt that vibe. Like,
New Yorkers.
Where you from? You said you from the East. Where you from?
Jersey all day, baby.
Where? I can't ask you where in Jersey because you know there be stalkers here, but we gonna talk after because I'm in Jersey too. Like I'm originally from New York, but Elise and I, we now New Jerseyans.
Okay, got you.
So definitely one day we gonna have some tea, girl, in person.
Absolutely, I need to do that. But besides just the vibe that I did feel, and I felt like, okay, they feel like home. I'm like, okay. And then you guys to just start speaking about mental health, just keeping it very candid and open and unguarded and just bearing. I'm like, okay, there you go. There's some other vulnerable sisters that's not afraid to be vulnerable, that's putting it out on the table, laying it out and not giving a fuck about what nobody say or think because they living in their power of everything they've been through. They living in their truth of the fact what they're going through, and they actually taking one day at a time and they conquering through it. They surviving through it. They actually they progressing through everything they're going through. Then the next thing that hit me, you guys are mamas, you guys are wives. Like it was just so many attributes of different things that drew me to you guys. And listen, one thing I love, sisters, that's about like That's not about competition. That's not about jealousy. That I like sisters like, girl, all right, you good. I love you too, girl.
Yeah.
Like, I love that because I do have that in my life, even with my meditation retreat that I went on with. I got soul sisters I have forever. We're about to go to we about to go to another place in the mountains. So I forward that over to you guys so you guys could join us. So, but other than that, just that connection I felt, and just I felt like, okay, these are women I could rock with on on a regular day.
I appreciate that because I think now I can absolutely see why we so align, why your realness, while your bluntness, your individuality just kind of pierces through, because you remind us a lot of us, speaking your truth, kind of going through your truth. And I think it's dope. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you guys are dope too. Absolutely.
So, Q, what is one of the things that you feel like was one of the hurdles that you have with social media? I know social media can be your biggest blessing, but it can also be your worst nightmare. What would you say for someone embarking on manifesting their dreams into reality that they have to be mindful of when it comes to social media?
I would say just be mindful of the fact that you give yourself, but know that there's limits. Don't give too much. It's you still have to have some of you to yourself. You don't have some privacy.
I agree.
I would say that if you do end up coming on social media and you decide whatever genre of whatever business you're doing, be authentic, because the people could smell if you're fake.
Yes.
They could sense and smell when you're fake. And I feel like if you're authentic, you are genuine, you're open, and you are being who you be relatable, they love that.
Yep.
They love that because they could sense that. Like I say, I didn't even know you guys from a can of paint, but you guys was relatable, authentic, genuine, real. And I see, and then especially with women nowadays,
Yes.
that's all sisters are looking for. They're looking for that unity, that village, that unjudgment zone, or that safe place of saying I could be myself. And they actually look. I when I see you guys, I see sisters that look like me. There's sisters that, you know what I'm saying? But also just be very careful and mindful, and then also don't get into that chatter with Instagram. Just be careful with that. Do your business. Do what you got to do. Post your content. Take care of your business and be out.
I think that's the best advice I've heard lately. Seriously. I agree. Post your content and be out. Jazz, you got a question for Q?
Oh, I'm just I found another. This is my twin soul over here.
You sure that twin flame is not Jasmine?
You speaking my I'm just like, you speaking my language. I find it so refreshing and just so amazing when I find someone who understands and just wants to speak so openly. Like, when I was younger, I was very open about my emotions, and people looked at me like I was an alien, So to find a fellow alien, is so dope, and I think that it's important in our Black and Brown communities that we stay true to ourselves, because by staying true to ourselves, we're blazing a trail. We're trailblazing. We're normalizing speaking emotions, speaking mental health, speaking sexuality. Just speaking, and we're speaking things that are a part of life and real. And I'm just definitely going to be all up in your content and definitely in touch, because I just think you're super dope.
Thank you. I believe and feel the same way about you as well, sis.
Thank you.
I love the connection. let us know where we can find you. Let us know what do we have to anticipate for Pillow Talk with the T podcast coming in the future. I want to know all handles, everything right now where people can find you, because you are amazing, you are dope.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So you guys can be able to find me on Instagram at Pillow Talk with the T podcast. Pillow Talk with the T is on YouTube. So please go subscribe, as well as we on all major podcast platforms. I don't even need to name them, but just to name a few: iHeart, Amazon, Pandora, Spotify, Google, and all the rest of them. We are also on TikTok. We on Twitter, so definitely go follow. And I would say, in regards to, and we also getting merch coming soon. So I'm taking my time on that. You know what I'm saying? Allowing him to move me when it's time to move at the right time.
Preach.
And then also, we for season 3. We in season 3. I just did episode 5 yesterday. So we just at the beginning. Season 3, I took a 2-month hiatus. I had to step back. I had to end up rewinding. I had to go and fast. I had to go pray. I had to go meditate. Because I say this is my purpose. Like, I see people doing podcasting, but are you doing podcasting just to do it, or is what is it for? But me, it's more of a it's more of a purpose, a passion, a reason. And I take it very serious. So when I line my season 3 schedule and segment, it's so funny because just being in the 5th episode of season 3, it seemed like it's him. It got to be him, because all the guests, everybody, it just came right with the topics. Because the topics I did first, and then I started pouring out to the guests, reaching out. And I'm like, okay, perfect. And it's so far. But listen, season 3 is going to be amazing. Like I said, next week we have, our topic is called Be My Peace and Not My Obligation. And we're going definitely deep in that topic. I have a guest that's coming on. She's a comedian, but she's also serious. So we have so much going on also in season 3, because since I've been talking about my SEXUATIONSHIP,
I love that.
Listen, gotta stay tuned for that, because I'm going to take you guys on a story journey. So we're gonna have story time. So I'm gonna take you for the beginning of me and his story to where we at today. And it's gonna be juicy. So, but listen,
girl, I'm tuning in.
Noted.
Season 3 just started. We're not even in the middle yet, and it's going to get even crazy and wilder. And baby, I have so much more in store for y'all. Y'all don't even know what hits you.
I believe it. I envision it. I see it. I wish you nothing but success, glory, everything, girl. You deserve it. I appreciate you for even coming on our platform and sharing your experiences, your personal stories with us. We appreciate you. We love you. Again, let people know where they can find you right now. If you have a YouTube or you have an IG, so that they can plug in their handles right now.
Yes, so go to Pillow Talk with the T podcast on Instagram, Pillow Talk with the T on YouTube, as well as on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook as well. So please, and then go to the major platforms. You don't want to have a visual content of listening to my mouth and my chatter and my gossip. You could just plug it in your ears and go to the major platforms and just put in Pillow Talk with the T. But stay tuned every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We bringing it raw. We bringing it unguarded. We bringing it true. We bringing it real. We listen. Like I always tell people, it's not your mama's or your grandma's podcast, but if they could handle it, they could tune into it.
I love that. Oh, I'm gonna be tuning in. That's after that's dope. So I'm gonna be in there for sure. Thank you, Q, for gracing us with your presence. You are amazing.
So much.
Just know this is not the end. This is only the beginning. We need to do some more together. I think it's amazing that we coming together. Unity is important, especially amongst women. There should never be no fake love. It should always be real. We wish you nothing but success, and I hope and I know we're gonna see you at the top for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You guys right as well. And I do appreciate you guys for actually inviting me, extending that invitation. And listen, like you said, it's not the last, it's just only the beginning.
It's only the
Right.
beginning. And guys, for everybody who's watching, you already know it's Mama's Cocktail Hours with your girl Zeta Lisa.
Elise
Jazz.
Nicole.
Jasmine Louisa.
Elise
That's
Nicole.
me. I'm Elise Nicole.
Okay, good. Just making sure. I've had too much wine, that's for sure. But thank you guys
You're
for
Zeta
tuning
Lisa,
in.
remember, right?
Thank you guys for tuning in to Mama's Cocktail Hour with our special guest Q from Pillow Talk with the Tea podcast. If you guys have not checked her out, please do so. We love you guys much. And until the next episode, bye.